Hello, hello, and welcome back to part 2 of this review for film and game composers. Meena Shamaly here again with you. We're looking at Epic SoundLab's Octamorph, and in part 2 we're just looking at some of the presets that are presented with the library. In part 1 we had a look at basically how it works and kind of creating your own patches, your own style, your own things. But part 2, we'll just look at what they've provided. So there's about 900 megabytes of sound, and then a whole bunch of presets that they've been crafted. A whole bunch of presets that have been crafted with these sounds. Sorry about that. And we get to have a look at them and see how they've applied all these things that they've provided this functionality for in their own presets. So our categories are, if we just open it up here, categories are complex risers, drones, flybys, rhythmic risers, and simple risers. So there's not a whole lot. There's more drones than anything. And drones and rhythmic stuff, which is pretty cool because that's kind of the bread and butter of hybrid electronic music, the stuff for TV and film composers and video game composers as well. And yeah, so let's have a quick look. So we'll start with the risers. Just go down the list. Got a riser like that. Remember how we looked at the riser and what it does? So, and see, it actually holds on until you let it go, which is, it's okay, but like it's up to you what to do with the riser after it's done rising. You can pitch it up after that even more. So there you go. So this is resonant riser, so that's probably in the nature of the sound. We'll go through dirty glitch. So there you go. What else you got? Grindy riser. Now these are pretty cool, very, very usable. Obviously, they are very geared towards a certain world of sound, which is pretty cool. Because this is the Forge edition, so I don't know if there are going to be more editions that cover different worlds of sounds. Obviously, you could create your own worlds of sounds, but that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about the world of sound they have provided us with in these presets. All right, so there you go. So the 4x ratless, this goes over 4 bars. So as you can see, the pretty cool thing is that the LFO does this whole thing as the sound rises, which is pretty cool. Like those are some of the ways you make some really interesting risers and downers and stuff. So there you go. What else we got? More of the four bar progressions. See what I mean? And we're back to the top of the list. It's not a huge list. Let's go through some of the quicker ones first, and then we'll go through the drums and the rhythmic. Actually, let's go through more risers. So these are rhythmic risers. And so you can always make it go for longer if you'd like. And maybe go for higher. 2 octaves maybe? So you're never really stuck with just what they give you. You can always change it to what you want, which is great. I love it when a library can do that, where it's based on sound design. That means you can design the sounds as much as you want, So beating rise. So see, these are some pretty cool things. And here's an 8-bar progression. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you watch the show, the TV show Arrow. Blake Neely writes the music for that, and there are a lot of these kinds of sounds. I mean, the Arrow sound is this rising synth. It's basically a riser. Uh, so there's a lot of stuff that is related to that, and so this is pretty cool. I love the fact that they've been able to capture these kinds of sounds that are very like Arrow, very like Blake Neely, because I really, really like what he does in that show. So yeah, I really like the show as well. I really like superheroes. Yeah. I mean, it all follows quite logically if you know me. So there you go. And more rising pulses. There you go. Now I wonder if there's ever a way to kind of make. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the guys at Epic SoundLab are, are intending on doing this, but something like this is pretty cool as a driving force. And I wonder if you can make it kind of go up and then down and up and then down, just kind of loop in a way that you can kind of build some music upon. So it's not just an effect, but it can also be a driving force for a track, for a cue. So yeah, it could be interesting. And yeah, these are the risers. These are more the risers. We've got some simple risers, like this. Done. Sometimes literally that's all you need. It's as an element. See, something like this you can easily combine with a bunch of other jet noises, and it would work for sound designers as well, I suppose. For for if you're actually designing sounds for movies, or TV shows or films or whatever, and you got a plane scene rising, and you really got to make it loud, but you also got to make it rise. And this is what it sounds like. Some of the sounds get really up there. Especially, there's probably a lot of low end there that I'm not hearing through the headphones. So yeah. So there are your simple risers. Now, we've got some flybys. And these are simple to go through. And these will use a Doppler effect to full effect. So if we put it back. See, I'm not quite sure how it is that they just get it to stop. That's interesting. I'm not actually quite sure. I don't think it was detailed in the manual anywhere. That makes the flyby, a lot more one shot. So these sounds are pretty subtle. I'm not sure if there's something that they've applied behind the scenes. I'm guessing that's part of what it is. I haven't investigated, but that's okay. So there you go. So there's your flybys. So last two things we need to look at are the rhythmic and the drones. So let's just get some movement happening, shall we? Let's have a look at the rhythmic stuff. That's some pretty cool stuff, and it's it's kind of really, really there, but it gets under your skin, but it's really subtle as well. So you can really kind of sneak it into your tracks, and it will do something that you will feel even more. If you don't hear it, you will definitely feel it. These are really well designed. I like them. Yeah. I'm not actually meaning to laugh maniacally, but it's... I really like this sound. Oh, this is pretty cool. So there's a lot of really good rhythmic stuff in there, and it's subtle enough. It can work on its own, but it's subtle enough that it can work with a lot of other things as well, which is pretty cool. And again, this is the kind of... a lot of this seems like the kind of stuff because that would work in Arrow soundtrack for Blake Neely. So I don't know if Blake's actually got a copy of this. If he does, it'll really kind of mesh well with what he does. I listen to the soundtracks quite a lot, and I quite enjoy them in the show and outside the show because it reminds me of the show as well. So there you go. So see, they're very complex, but they're very good. They're very good. I quite enjoy these, and I could see them kind of like sneaking in. It's like, I really need this kind of edgy, tense kind of movement, though, you know, and it will work. It'll come in and it'll just work. And the whole, LFO thing really drives it well. And, if I really want to kind of tie it into a particular note, and I can really kind of start zooming in and going, well, maybe the B needs to be a little higher, C needs to be a little lower, and just adjust it from there, Evil Riff, there you go. If they ever pick up Constantine for a second season, we could use this to score it. So, this could end up in Bear McCreary's tool bag if he needs to. That's some pretty really, really interesting stuff. I really quite like. I'm just kind of trying to give you a listen to what it is. Oof, it's a lot of transforming there. So as I said, there is a definite sound world that they're going for there, and it's a very good sound world, and really fits in with a lot of the aesthetics of a lot of thrillers and dramatic TV today. And I don't know what the word is. Like I say, it's subtle. It's just not. It's not imposing. It's definitely, you can definitely feel its presence, but it's not so imposing so as to take over your entire track. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'll be there. I'll do my thing. I'll just sit back here and do my thing and kind of sternly stare you down as you try to come up with a better idea or with an idea that will agree with me. You know what I mean? So there you go. Just imagine the amount of things you can do with this. Ooh, I like this. This is like, I don't know. If they ever make a season 6 of Breaking Bad, you know, you could start doing this when Walter goes crazy. I don't know. We can just cut between scenes like that. Ooh. And this is Breaking Bad when, you know, Walt's running and someone's in danger and yeah, it's like someone is gonna die if Walt doesn't do what he needs to do. Or, you know, Walt is the danger and Walt is the one who knocks. So, sorry if you've never seen Breaking Bad or you don't know what I'm talking about, I do apologize. It was a really good show. This is a little more nice and subtle, kind of. Not like subtle. It's like it's a little less dark. See, it's a simple sequence, but it does so much. There you go. I've got the backing for a whole track if I want. Ooh, that's nice. Because it plays on this whole, you know, chord, you know, a bunch of chords kind of moving in and out of each other, and they all kind of related. It's really cool. These are some really well designed presets, and I quite enjoy that. And to be honest, for the price of was it $56 or $59, and it's I'd say it's well worth the buy for that. There are times where you spend more on a library and a set of sounds, and it's not as practical as you'd have liked it to be. You know, or it's not as usable. But a lot of these are very, very usable, which is pretty cool. So that's a lot of really great rhythmic stuff, and it's not stuff that you can't change. You're not locked into it. So if I start changing some of this a little. See what I mean? So you can do a lot. White Walker. I don't think I actually got a chance to hear this, so let's see what a White Walker actually sounds like. So is that the sound effect you would put when the Night King looks at Jon Snow and says, "Come at me, bro"? Basically. And if you don't watch Game of Thrones, again, I apologize. And if you do watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what a White Walker would sound like, or would what the music around him would sound like. There you go. And we're back to the beginning. So that's a lot of the rhythmic stuff. And a lot of the rhythmic stuff, like the risers are very practical. And you can build them and you can edit them yourself. So you're not just stuck with a particular sample of how someone else designed the riser. You can really design everything about the riser yourself. And that's pretty great. And the fact that it locks into your tempo and you can just adjust how many bars you want it, or if you just want it for 2 beats or 1 beat out of bar, you can do that as well. It's pretty great. So it's a lot of sound design where you can actually design the sounds. So it's not just about, hey, here we've designed a bunch of sounds and you can use them. No, it's like we've designed a bunch of sounds and you can further design these sounds and then further design your risers and create all these like rhythmic things and all sorts of things. So the possibilities of this engine are endless. And that's quite what I'm enjoying about it. You know what I mean? Maybe the sounds themselves, they're a very particular taste and a very particular aesthetic. In the product description, it comes from a particular, there is a particular line of thinking about it. It's like sort of more drones for TV and film and that kind of thing. So if you think, oh, well, I don't really like these sounds, that's a matter of personal taste and that's a matter of aesthetic. So that's I suppose what I'm trying to say. As far as the engine goes and how it works, the engine works well. So the learning curve it's worth it, I think. It won't take you that long. I'm saying you just need to kind of read the manual, or hopefully I've explained enough in these videos that they're easy to kind of bite into. All right, so there you go. Anyway, last but not least, we've got our drones. So let's quickly have a look. And these are probably like develop a lot slower, right? So see what I mean? So it's some pretty slow developments here. But the great thing is because they lock into the tempo. That you can really kind of place them underneath something else, and they'll kind of, even if it's just a drone, but it still has a particularly rhythmically biased movement, sort of like this, where it moves across the x-axis like that. It can really work well underneath kind of a slower or more tense situation where you need the motion, but you don't want it to be overbearing. Now I'm starting to imagine, because of the word bowed, imagine a bunch of different like phrases from bowed instruments that you kind of manipulate and then place them into this engine and see what you can come up with. There is a lot of possibility there. Like, I think you would have to spend a whole day out of your week just designing sounds just so you can use them later and have fun with them. So it's kind of droney, but still a little rhythmic, which really works. To see what you get, let's go. If you go lower, see what it sounds like. It's really subtle. And again, it's nothing you can't change. It's just you can change a lot of the aspects yourself. That's always great. You're never stuck into someone else's sound if you don't want to. If you choose to do that, that's your choice. You're choosing to use someone else's sound, which is quite okay, and depends on your situation. But you're never stuck into something if you don't want to be. I like where this is going. See, something like this, I like it, for example. The x-axis is too erratic for me. So maybe I want something a little more like this. See what I mean? So like, I really like the core of the sound, but like, I wanted the movement to be different, and there you go. Just a couple of clicks and I'm done. So as you can see, you can really understand the aesthetic of these sounds, the sound world that they're trying to give you, or that they have given you specifically in this Forge edition. Oof, I really like this, and this uses, like it says, ghostly, and it uses the ghost impulse response. See, I'm guessing if you wanted the LFO to be a lot more free and a lot more depending on what you want to do, I just wonder if there's something in the back, which I haven't actually looked into. But under the group editor, maybe there might be a bunch of more LFOs that are not really. I couldn't tell you. I haven't dug enough into it to know what's going on. Like I haven't dug enough into the back end, is what I mean, to know if that's possible. And I wonder if that's an option that maybe the guys would consider in an update or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's great as it is, but it's probably a lovely extra if they were so inclined. So it's one of those things that, it doesn't need, but it could be nice if it had, which is not a negative at all. It's just a thought, just a thought that occurred to me. You can hear this under a story of betrayal, so someone's telling us like, Oh, you thought I was helping you? No, I was actually working for your enemy, and now you've led me right to your weakest spot, and I've been feeding them information for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? So my real name is Dr. Wiggle, and Barney the dinosaur is actually a spy for the KGB. You know, if this were set in the 80s. So there you go. Here, if you watch Da Vinci's Demons, this will be the Turkish man. Is he Turkish? The Turk, I think that's what they call him in the show. The Turk talked to Leonardo's like, Leonardo, what are your demons? What do you see in your visions? Like, stuff like that. And then he'll just like flip a coin and transport him somewhere else. It sounds weird, but it's really cool in the show, okay? So yeah. There you go. So Oakwood. So even the drones have quite enough movement in them to keep things moving. It's not just like kind of static. It's not like a ooh and that's it. No, it's just like ooh, like it just does its own thing. Forget me trying to sing it. I'm sorry, but see what I mean? Like it's almost in the very nature of the instrument to do that. It was pretty cool, I think. Is that the motion is, or whatever the sound quality is of the particular drone that you're looking for, it's still apparent no matter where you are. So if you're up here, you still get enough of that scrape feeling in this preset, for example, that you can kind of move it around as needed for your arrangement, and as if you're scoring for a TV show or something, and you need to score it out, you need to keep it outside of the frequency range of the actors' voices, then you can do stuff like this and put it down here. It'll still be just as effective, I think. I like this one. No, I'm just messing with it as I see fit, which is pretty cool. It's just cool that it's right there. You can do it. All right. Some pretty freaky stuff there. And we're back to the start. And that's Octamorph. So we've run all through all the presets, and parts one we had to look at how it works and creating your own stuff. And this baby does a lot of things and does them well. And for $59, I think for the amount of things it can do within that engine, within that that front interface, and the fact that you can provide all your own samples, and for any kind of sound design work, and it's mind-bogglingly great. I suppose the fact that it's not initially as simple as I'd hoped it would be can be a bit of a drawback. You need to actually kind of dig into it and understand it a little bit, but not that you won't need that much, is what I'm saying. It's a bit of a learning curve, but not a heavy learning curve. And, you know, if you don't like the sounds that are provided, that's an aesthetic issue and a taste issue rather than a functionality issue. Because I think the sounds are great, and they'll definitely work in a lot of contexts in which TV, film, and video game composers will work. And I'm trying to think if there is really anything glaringly negative that needs to be pointed out. Not really, because I don't think it ever purported to do anything that it didn't do. Like, if you look back at the claim, it's complex soundscapes, check. Morphing drones, check. Shapeshifting risers, check. Much more, check. Cross-morphing thing. Like, there is no lie here. You know what I mean? And that's, I suppose, if you're selling me something and you're telling me what it is, and I end up with something that isn't what you said what it would be, then, I'll feel cheated. I'll feel that my money has been wasted. But in this case, you've told me exactly what it is, and you've delivered exactly what it is, and maybe a bit more. I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. But as far as delivering on their promises, they have definitely delivered on their promises. And the result for me is great. And I know that from time to time I'll be reaching for this and be like, okay, I need a bit of rhythm or a bit of a drone and that kind of thing. And it's going to be in my toolbox. It'll definitely make its way through some of my work. So, yeah, so that's Epic SoundLab's Octamorph. And I've been Meena Shamaly, and you've been great for enduring me so far. And endure me next time on the next video where we have more reviews, and check out more at www.filmandgamecomposers.com. Not that you need to hear www again, because it's 2015, for God's sake. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you.